And we're live. Hello, everybody.
Happy Monday evening.
Happy Monday evening. And yes, again, I forgot to start my recording software because why would I remember such things? We've only been doing this now for well over a year. And of course, I can't remember to start the damn recorder.
Them's the breaks.
Yeah,
At least this time you didn't jump right into the intro.
Oh, yeah, believe me. I thought I was gonna because I liked the way that went last week. And then I'm like, oh, crap. Oh, see, now. Yeah, okay.
Now, see, like, if we plan to do that, that's awesome. I'm fine with that, but,
Right. All right, one of those. Oh, okay, that's why. That's tier 3. That's my problem. Okay. That's better. And then I have to set this up to repeat so that I hear my sound effects. I've got a little program called Audio Repeater, so it sends the virtual that the Stream Deck is using, the virtual sound card, and pumps that through my headphones. So
that's good.
And I have a new sound effect that I'll use at a point. You'll understand what it is when the time comes. So,
leave me in the dark.
Oh, it's going to be great, though. It'll be epic when it happens, so stay tuned. Okay.
I'm scared.
All right, are we ready? Let's hit this thing.
Yeah, sure.
All right. I've got Mixpad open. You know what? Let me get a sound level check on.
Boom, chicka, boom.
Good on your end?
Yeah, sounds fine.
All right. All righty then. All right, I'm over the red. You over the red?
Over the red.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Click. Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the Planestalkers Podcast, a show by casuals for casuals. I'm your host, Will Benson, joined as always by my, hey, I love Zakama so much, I decided to play him all weekend, co-host Aramis Perez. Aramis, how are you tonight, sir?
I would play him all weekend if I was allowed to play him all weekend. It's just on Friday night. It sucked. I want Historic Brawl all the time.
You know what? I can't blame you there. I understand that completely. And that's, you know what, that's going to bring us right into.
Untap, upkeep, and draw.
All right. So, untap, upkeep, and draw. Before we begin tonight, we'd like to remind you guys that this episode and every episode of the Planestalkers podcast is sponsored by Kerwin's Game Store. Kerwin's Game Store is New York State's premier source for collectible card games, tabletop games, miniatures, comic books, retro video games, and toys. With their clean, open gaming areas available to everyone at no charge someday when COVID finally takes a hike, Kerwin's provides a fun and inviting atmosphere for new and experienced gamers alike. Now, they have two great locations. One is in Catskill, New York, and the other is on the second floor of the Poughkeepsie Galleria in Poughkeepsie, New York. And even though they're not hosting events right now, I can't recommend enough going to the store. Like, I even took the kids there this past, like last weekend. So, I mean, it's definitely worthwhile. It's a great place to go and get the stuff you need. But you can also, if you can't get there physically, check out their website. It's kgsonline.com. That's KiteGoSamuelOnline.com. They, if you use the promo code PLANESTALKERS2020 at checkout, you'll get 5% off your order. That's PLANESTALKERS2020 at checkout. We also want to recognize our Planeswalker patrons: Brian, David, Jonathan, Johnny, Bell, Anthony, Steve, Mark, George, Josh, Zach, Walter, Ian, and Randy. I did it in one breath, man. Getting good at this.
A lot.
These are the people, guys, who really do help keep our show together. They get a lot of perks. They get the Ride Home with Will podcast, which is just more of me. Who doesn't want more of me? But also a few other things. You know, they usually get first standing for our Win-A-Box events, which we'll have one coming up here, I do believe, at the start of January. Really, and there are other things we do, and we really appreciate our patrons. To find out more, to see what you can do and how you can help the show and how maybe we can help you, I want you to go to patreon.com/Planestalkers. Finally, and this is a little strange, and I feel funny kind of tooting our own horn on this one, but we're a top 25 MTG podcast on FeedSpot. Somebody else actually sent us a text on that this weekend. It was kind of funny. FeedSpot it looks like it's some sort of aggregator where it's going out and grabbing information as far as website, information and where you're ranked on various sites. We came in number 14 out of 25, and I'm kind of jazzed about that now. So I mean, it's definitely worthwhile. To find out more, to see our ranking, to see the guys that came in front of us, and by the way, we can catch some of these dudes. Go to blog.feedspot.com/magic_the_gathering_podcasts. And it'll be in our show notes tonight when we get the episode up. Don't get me wrong. They're trying to get me to sign up for stuff and I'm like, yeah, no. I didn't have to do anything to get this ranking. So if I don't have to do anything to get this ranking, I'm certainly not going to, I'm not one of these guys who's going to go get Twitter or Twitch followers or things like that. I want it to be real. So I'm just honored. So
yeah, and if we're just showing up because of the results of an algorithm, hey,
yeah, an
algorithm.
He
invented the internet. He invented it.
Yes, he did. All right, and it is on tap. And this time of year, it feels necessary. Sam Adams Oktoberfest, which, by the way, is only 5.3%. So, Aramis, I'll actually keep somewhat control this evening. So
I'll believe that when I see it.
Because I have Dogfish Triple IPA in the fridge if you really, really want that.
You said you were saving that for Wednesday, so we'll worry about that later. We'll worry about that on Commander Craft.
You want to sit?
You'll just drink 2 then.
7:30 on Wednesday nights, by the way.
Yes, 7:30. This is my first Oktoberfest of the season, so let's see how it is. Because every year it is a little different. So here we go. Okay. Flavorful. I like it. I do like it. Wow. All right, then. Well, Aramis, how the heck are you? What have you been up to? What's new? What's the haps?
Well, I mean, just kind of, I haven't been able to stream lately. There's been a lot.
Yeah. People are complaining. Actually, I've been getting notes.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be tough for me the rest of the month. I'm hoping to get back on the horse in November. We'll see how things go. I was playing.
Maybe like get a job, dude. I'm all right with you getting a job.
Yeah, well, that's the plan too. But
yeah.
In the meantime, I played the historic brawl event like we mentioned earlier on for Friday Night Magic at home. I really don't understand why every other format is available pretty much all the time except that one.
Because we want it.
Yeah. We also want ranked best of 3 draft.
Huh?
Yeah, I mean, people also want ranked best of 3 draft, and that hasn't happened yet either. Although I imagine it's just a matter of time before that happens. But I rolled in with Zakama. I mean, I actually got my 2 wins with Athreos, and then I built the Zakama deck just to sort of mess around and have fun.
Right.
And I think I was up till 2 a.m. playing this deck. It was so much fun. I mean, I have if you guys are watching the live stream, behind me was the end result of one of my games. You can't see my live total, but it's 750.
And you had -1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Well, he was playing a Kenrith deck, dude.
Kenrith is crazy.
Yeah, Kenrith is broken.
Kenrith is nuts.
Basically 5 color.
Yeah, but Mirari's Wake with Zakama is nuts. If you untap with Mirari's Wake, you cast Zakama on turn 5 or 6. And then, you basically win at that point. I mean, there were only 2 games all night that I played where if I cast the comma, I didn't instantly win or win the next turn.
Wow. Congratulations on that.
It was fun. I had so much fun playing it. So they need to make Historic Brawl a permanent thing.
Okay. I don't disagree. I would like to see a lot of things become a permanent thing. I don't see why they limit any of it. I'm like, why in the world would you say you can only play... I'm just messing with my lights here.
Yeah, well, they're basically printing money. So, people will play this stuff. There are enough Magic players in the world, especially now. Yeah, there's no paper events.
I don't understand why you would limit anything. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
They're leaving money on the table.
They really, really are. For me, tons of stuff going on. We had a big weekend. I actually stayed down. I came home from work early on Friday a little bit. I was feeling under the weather. And I knew it was weird. I had a dry throat. And, I mean, no COVID or anything like that. But I could tell, like, something was off. I ended up sleeping most of the day Sunday. So we ran around a little bit Saturday. We had to go and do some shopping and grocery shopping. We got the kids this weekend. Right. So we had to go and do that. And I didn't even really want to do that. To be quite honest, we kind of had a fight. Because I was kind of like, do I really have to go? And she was like, well, I'd like not to die. Because she hadn't slept well the night before. So again, I was a jerk. I suck. I'm the worst ever. I admit that. But yeah, I was down pretty much all weekend. It was as much as humanly possible. I mean, I did a little bit of Minecraft streaming, and I did a little bit, I created an intro and stuff for Flashcraft because, I'm doing it a little bit more. And, and we'll talk about that a little bit. Like, Arena's just not holding my interest these days. And I understand the standard is better. We'll go through that. But I mean, today we are going to talk about the state of standard. It's going to be pretty much the bulk of our cast tonight, is going through some of the decks that are out there. Now, MTG Goldfish isn't really up to date totally. There are some other decks out there we're going to look through. We're going to talk a little bit. I don't think we have a combat. We may fall into one. And then for main 2, we're going to talk about the new Zendikar event as well as the new Secret Lair. We do have a iTunes review we'll read. And again, blog.feedspot.com/Magic the Gathering podcast. But let's, let's just get right into the main.
Main phase.
All right, welcome to main phase. So as we like to do, as we're wont to do in this cast, we're going to talk a little bit today about the state of standard. I mean, the bannings have had an impact.
Oh, yes.
In a very, very strong and good way. From a bird's eye view, control is kind of back in a real way.
I mean, here's bird's eye view. Standard is actually kind of a thing now.
Yeah, nobody is really sitting overwhelmingly on top.
No.
It is really good. For really, I mean, right now, MTG Goldfish, if you go to the website, they're saying Dimir Control is number 1 with Golgari Adventures on number 3, Rakdos Midrange on number 2. So let's put it this way. We have a control, we have a midrange, we have a combo, and then at 5th place, we have an aggro. Like, what more can we ask?
Yeah, all the archetypes are represented. There's multiple decks of every archetype. There's a couple different control decks floating around, a couple different combo decks,
right?
A couple of mid range, there's flavors of ice cream for everyone, and even for people who are lactose intolerant, they got frozen yogurt.
I mean, we're seeing Celestia back. I'm like, Celestia won the CFB Pro Player Showdown this weekend.
Celestia Yorion of all things.
Yeah, it's really, really strange. And I like it. I'm here for it. Don't get me wrong. I'm 100% here for it. I mean, Omnath had to go. And I'm kind of glad he went in another regard, because I don't have to get 3 more of them. And I already built my Commander deck for Wednesday. So, yeah, Commander Craft, 7:30. Tell your friends. So yeah, I mean, why don't you break down a little bit of what we're seeing these days?
Well, I mean, a lot of different decks have kind of jumped into the forefront. I know one of the ones that has really seen a lot of attention lately. There's a mono green food deck floating around that just it grinds you out. It doesn't run out of value. It has the Trail of Crumbs. It has the Gilded Goose, the Feasting Troll King, Scavenging Ooze. So it's just basically it's constantly playing creatures that are solid creatures, good threats. You can't keep the Feasting Troll King dead because you're generating so many food. It's got the Great Henge, so you're drawing cards. You're gaining some extra life with that. There's Primal Mites are in the deck to use as removal, but just basically it kind of like outvalues you and then just sort of beats you down at the end. There's also a couple different flavors of Dimir Control floating around. I'm actually playing a deck that I found online called 8 Shark. And it's the Great Shark from Ikoria that counters artifacts and creatures.
Right.
And it's a 5/4 flash. And it also runs Shark Typhoon, and it's also heavy control. So there's a bunch of counter spells, a bunch of pinpoint removal, a couple of board wipes.
That's not really the thing we're seeing. That's kind of cool. Where did you find that?
Oh, gee, I think it was like the Arena Zone or something like that. I have to find the website, but it's not one that's posting like big results or anything. So it's kind of a rogue deck. But it's
not like a rogue deck.
No, it's not a rogue deck, because that's the thing too. There's also Dimir Rogues are
Dimir Rogues has fallen to 3.2 though. It's not doing as well in the new meta, or just people aren't playing it.
Yeah, you do still see a lot of it in the lower ranks. I would say, I guess people are saying platinum and below, you see a lot more rogues. Once you hit diamond and mythic, I guess you don't see it as much.
Right.
Rakdos midrange, is there. Croxa has become a very powerful card.
Which somebody called last week. I
Yep.
got to shout him out. I think it was Johnny. He was calling him out. He's saying that this could happen.
Yeah, and I mean it's not that Croxa was ever a bad card, because it was a ravenous rat with a lightning bolt attached to it, conditionally, that it would always come back. The problem is that his big brother was just so much better. So once they banned Uro, and once they finally banned Omnath, now Croxa has a chance to do its thing and shine. And Rakdos as a mid, you don't normally expect Rakdos to be like a mid-rangey strategy. That's normally like, I'm going to just aggro and burn you out and whatever. And
Right.
It does that, but it takes a little more time to do that, and it has a little more value to it. Its creatures are a little bit bigger. Like you said, the aforementioned Golgari Adventures deck, mono red aggro's there. There's a Azorius Blink. I mean, there's decks all over the place now, and it's great because you can now say, well, what do I feel like playing today? Whatever I choose could be competitive, and it's not just, well, I'm either playing Omnath this or Omnath that.
Omnath or
Yeah. So I love this. This is the standard that I was hoping we had 2 weeks ago when we were going into the grand finals, and it looked like maybe something was coming where the meta was starting to diversify, and that obviously never happened. But this is what I was hoping we would see: a diverse, healthy standard. I'm going to give kudos to Wizards. It took them long enough. They should have never printed Omnath in standard. It should have been a commander card. But you know what? This is where we are. I'm okay with where we are right now. Please, 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 to all the mana gods out there, no more bans until January at least. I would love to see that.
I don't think we're gonna need them. I'm looking at this right now, and yeah, things are looking really good. Don't get me wrong. Rakdos midrange, to me, looking at this, Rakdos midrange has the highest ceiling right now. I mean, Dimir control is control, but control cards are control cards, and they're they've all been kind of found out. Rakdos is still being tuned. Like, you're seeing different. If you look through the deck lists, everybody's still kind of tuning it up a little bit, and I love. Again, I'm here for it. I am. I'm not a big fan of Rakdos. As a strategy, I've never been a Rakdos guy. I've never really been Sacrifice and all that, but. For the most part, I mean, Rankle is still great. Croxa is probably the last of the Elder Giants that's going to see play.
Well, there's only two. So.
Right. I thought there were four, I thought there was a third.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well,
just Croxa and Uro.
Yeah, and Euro's not going to see play anymore.
No, not in standard.
Yeah. Mono Green is a deck, obviously. Gruul Adventures, it needs a little bit work.
It's still good. I mean, Gruul Adventures is still very, very good. I mean, obviously it loses something for not having Lucky Charm anymore.
Yeah, Lucky
Clover. But Edgewall Innkeeper is still a very good card. It can still generate a ton of value, and having access to green and black, they do for enemy colors, they complement each other very well.
I'm just glad I didn't make the companion bet now, because there is a companion deck. Yorion is still hanging in.
There's Yorion for any color that can cast him.
Yeah. He's really, really good as far as, well, not only that, but it kind of shuts down the mill decks. Not shuts them down, but makes it harder for them to get their win con.
Yeah. It's hard to mill if you're playing against 80 cards.
Right. So I for one, am kind of down with it. I understand that's why it's there. And again, Elspeth Conquers Death is one of the top 5 cards in Standard. You can't tell me I'm wrong. And definitely.
Wrong,
what?
Wrong.
What?
Wrong.
Okay.
You're wrong.
Okay.
No, I think Elspeth Conquers Death is one of the best cards in the format.
You're never going to get an argument from me because I'm a control player, and Elspeth Conquers Death is a beating.
Yeah, it's kind of, you have to have it. I mean, Andre Strosky was playing a Celestia deck. Now, I don't think he was using Yorion as I don't think he was using Yorion as companion.
I would have to look at the deck list, but I believe he was.
I think he had 4. No, according to this deck list I'm looking at, he had 4 of it in the main. So,
okay.
But that's enough. I mean, yeah, because he was running with 25, 30, 9, plus 8. 39 plus 8 is
47.
47, sorry, plus 18. So, yeah,
That's 65.
yeah, he's running 65, so there's no way he was running 80. So,
Where's this deck list?
WG inside, if you go to the Yorian, if you go to the standard, on the right, you're going to look for the CFB
The pro thing.
Pro Player Showdown October.
Yeah. White, green, Andre Strosky.
Yeah. And so he didn't have, and now, but look at, I mean, damn. A good, solid deck. And it's using the damn modal cards. He's got what? One? No, he just had one. But still.
He's got 2. Turn Team Symbiosis and Amarius Call.
Oh, yeah. Amarius Call and Tangled
pathways.
Fluorahedron. So he had 3.
So 3.
I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah. Like,
Skyclave Apparition is very good also.
Oh, Skyclave Apparition is really good. I am loving this. I don't know what I want to build. I mean, I built a mono red to get me through silver and gold, and it's doing fine.
But this is the good thing, though.
Yeah.
You don't know what to build
Yes.
because there's so much to build.
There is so much to build. There's so
This
many
is where
good
Standard
cards.
needs to stay.
I don't know that. Yeah, but dude, a new set's coming out.
New set's coming out in a couple of months, but this is great to have such a diversity. It's great to have a metagame that we can actually talk about and say, I'm not really sure what's the best deck right now.
Yeah, I think you're hard pressed to beat Control at this point. For best of 3. I don't see.
There are a lot of good Control cards right now. Yeah. If you're able to take game 1 from a Control deck, you need to be able to close it out game 2, because if they get to bring it to 3 games, you're at a disadvantage.
And the fact is, I mean, we're also back to 2 color. Like, because of Guilds of Ravnica and Ravnica Allegiance and then War of the Spark, like, we had a great mana base for 3 color decks. We're not seeing those anymore. Omnath being gone, and other than like Lonus Cobra and a few other ramp cards you can have out there, nobody's really running 3 color decks because the mana base just ain't there.
I mean, there's a Grixis Control deck that's floating around, and I mean, Cycling is still around too. So, but they're technically 2 colors.
Yeah, and I mean, Cycling is kind of, I mean, it's not winning.
No, it's not. But it's one of those decks that you can. It's sort of like how Bogles is in Modern.
Right.
If you're not prepared for it, it can steal it.
Yeah.
So it's not that it's not well positioned. It's not that it's not good. It's just it's not well positioned in this meta. So it's not a wise choice if the meta has any sort of idea that it might be there. But if they're ignoring it completely, then you can sort of sneak in and get some games.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know if you were gonna pick a deck. Well, you told me you built your own, like, you built a Dimir Controls sort of, but based around the shark mechanic.
Yeah, it's Dimir Control, but its win conditions are the Great Shark, and the Shark Typhoon, and the Crawling Barrens. So it's old school Control where the win condition is a manland.
I think for me, if I'm gonna build a deck, I'm probably gonna look at maybe Golgari Adventures. I like that kind of you know me. I like that combo or the aggro deck.
I would try the food deck, honestly. I would say you would enjoy that deck because
what, the mono green food?
It does well against Control because I've played it a few times and I have a heck of a time. Like, I might win some of the games, but I have to use like a ton of resources to do it, and you're drawing so many cards, and Feasting Troll King doesn't stay dead.
Right.
And it's a 7/6 Vigilance Trample, and you're casting it pretty early because you got Geese.
I'm still kind of surprised that Questing Beast is not in that deck. Like, I'm sorry, Questing Beast for a while there was like 2 or 3 of in any green deck because of the haste.
Yeah.
But, and the fact it was killing planeswalkers, and maybe that's why, is that, the number of planeswalkers went from, 900 to 12.
Yeah. I don't think there's really. Are there any planeswalkers being played at all right now? I mean, I know that some of the Dimir Control decks.
Liliana's seen some play.
I know. Some of the Dimir Control decks play Ashiok.
Right.
And yeah, like Liliana sees a little bit of play, but I really don't see a lot of planeswalkers right now.
Because Liliana's seen play actually in the Rakdos, which I was not prepared for. Yeah, Nissa's certainly not. Let's see, who else is out there? Well, she's not. Nahiri's not.
Oh yeah, there's no Nahiri.
I mean, Vivian's
she's-
still seeing play, but
yeah. But Nahiri, I think, is one of those planeswalkers that needs something. She needs to be
Nahiri
built
is
around.
designed for limited. Honestly,
She's designed for limited. I mean, there might be a constructed deck for her, but I think the environment's too hostile for that. Having to dig out, and plus, there's no really good equipment in standard other than Embercleave. And if you're playing Embercleave, you're playing Mono Red or Gruul.
right.
You're not playing. You're not playing Boros.
Yeah, and I mean, Mono Red right now is they're still trying to. I'm seeing a lot of different variations on it. Some of them are bringing in Weaselback. Some of them are bringing in, Phoenix of Ash is back in almost all of them.
Yeah.
Which,
They pretty much all believe in the cleave,
yeah, it's all living for Cleave.
which is fine.
Hey, yeah, if you're gonna do it, do it. And I love Embercleave. I love Embercleave. We're not seeing a lot. I mean, to me, the story this week is obviously the downfall of rogues. And I think that has to be in direct result of Yorion making a comeback.
Yeah, I think that's the adjustment people are making, because it was really good for a couple of weeks or a week and a half. And
It was good
has
against
dropped off.
Omnath. It was a way
Yeah.
to stop Omnath. It really was. You can have Omnath, but I'm going to mill the living hell out of you, and you better hope
Yeah.
you get it.
And it was only good at that point because they had banned Uro.
Right.
Because before, if you're milling them, you're like, okay, you're giving me cards for Uro. Why are you doing this? Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think that mill's going to go away. It's good enough. There are enough cards out there, and I don't see the deck disappearing. I think that it's going to be a viable strategy going forward still. Obviously, it's going to need to make an adjustment of its own in order to get back up to the upper echelons of the meta.
Well, we'll see what
But,
the next set brings. I mean,
Yeah, well, we'll see what the next couple of weeks bring. Who knows?
it's very possible that the Viking decks are going to have something to play with it. You got to figure with Vikings, it's going to heavily favor blue.
I don't know. Vikings? That might
Water.
be more of a red. Yeah, but they're warriors and
Yeah.
berserkers and things like that. And
But
there's also been a
they
lot
ride
of,
on ships, dude. There's a Viking ship thing. Like
Yeah, so do
they-
pirates, but pirates are red.
Yeah,
and
that's
black.
true. Yeah. It's possible. It's possible.
Yeah. And there also have been, leaks and spoilers. And
Oh yes, I've also
Already.
seen some of those. Yes, and we
So-
won't discuss those. We're not going to talk about Commander Legends,
oh my God, Commander Legend! There's so much more coming out of that now already.
and it
This is
looks
what
amazing.
happens.
Like you and I are going to probably have to buy a box.
This is what happens when you delay the release of a set, but don't stop the delay in the entire. If you don't delay the entire world, because some people got their hands on it and they are not going to keep quiet about it.
No. So I have a feeling I'm going to end up with a box of that. So, because
Yeah,
first of all, I mean, it's going to have staples in it that we need.
Scroll rack.
Let's not discuss any of the sport. We've had no official previews yet. So
No official previews.
So
Sorry.
we-
that's
but they
rumored,
are out
wild
there.
speculation.
Yes, listen. It's not speculation. We'll be honest, okay? It's out there. They're out there. But I don't want to I kind of feel like we shouldn't support that type of stuff. And I understand it's always been a part of Magic. I was around when it was a part of Magic, but for me, I'd rather wait until Wizards kind of tells us what the real story would be, how they did it as opposed to what's in it. And it's already been talked about ad nauseum, but they're out
So-
there. You can find these cards if you want to look.
If you're interested, the information is out there. You can go under Reddit and find it very easily. If you are not interested, don't consume the content. Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at it because I like it. I like seeing the stuff, even if it's early, because I know it's going to come, and just to get it gets me more excited. I feel bad for the content creators that had articles or little stream events planned for
Exactly,
their previews.
and that's
I
kinda
feel
why
really bad for them.
That's part of the
that's-
reason I don't want to engage in that is because.
But I do
you know,
pin some of that on Wizards, because if they were going to do this, they needed to be able to put the brakes on better.
Well, I mean,
And I know
they're
it's
saying there was a break-in somewhere or something.
that's entirely possible, and it's probably realistically impossible to actually stop all of it from coming out. If they delayed it and said, okay, you can't release any of this, someone's going to do it. It's always going to happen. It's like, we're not supposed to have in-store events, but there are stores that have
Wrong,
events.
wrong, 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 wrong.
wish I knew the reference.
Wrong.
You haven't seen Scrubs, have you?
No.
You got to watch Scrubs. It's on Hulu. Trust me. It'll be like one of the best shows you've ever seen in your life. It'll change your life, Aramis.
I see.
The more you know. And then there's stars. Okay.
Shooting star thing.
But no, yeah, to me, I just, because we're content creators and because I know, and don't get me wrong, I mean, Channel Fireball and Star City Games, I mean, they're charging for you to sniff their underwear at this point. You know, the paywalls and everything else. I mean, it's annoying as hell. But on the other side of that, like, we are content creators, and these guys are putting in time and energy and stuff. So, I mean, for me personally, it's like, it can wait a few weeks. There's no reason for us to go all crazy with these speculation and these spoiler cards, really. And again, I was around when they didn't have a preview season. That preview season was literally spoiler season, because what happened is that employees at Wizards would get this stuff and go, here's what's coming. And, you know, now they're like making it official, and they've kind of embraced that this is going to happen. But, you know, I don't know. It's, for me, it's not how I want to necessarily run our show. It's out there, guys, and you can find it. But I just, but yeah, it's ridiculously powerful.
You know what I would love to see, and I don't think it's possible nowadays. I would love for them to be able to release sort of like how they did with the mystery boosters.
Yeah.
Release a set, 0 spoilers. You go, you know nothing until the pre-release. You open your packs and you're like, what the hell does this do?
I would love it if they did that for, like, at rotation.
Yeah.
Like, that would be the time to do it, is rotation. Everything's exciting. It's half your sets are gone. You know, you don't know what's coming in this set. You don't know what deck you're going to build. Mm-hmm. And you might have hell. Yes, pre-release, you have no idea. And there's a constructed event 1 week later.
Yeah.
But there's no way they'll do it, because they like throwing it on Arena a week and a half before paper.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. And it's fine. I mean, that's the world we live in now. It's just, it'd be interesting to see, like, or maybe if it was like a set that wasn't coming out in Arena, if it was like a supplemental set, like if they did like if it was Commander Legends, and they were somehow able to get to the point where they say, we know that there's good stuff in this set, but we're not telling you what it is until it drops. I mean, just the wild speculation. Oh, maybe this is in there. Maybe that's in there. Are they going to finally, maybe, here you go. If they ever decide to nuke the reserve list, that's how they should do it.
Ooh.
How's that for a nice...
I don't think they're ever going to nuke do you think is that a possibility? Are they going to nuke the reserve list someday?
I'll take Rosewater's position and how he says he never says never. He also does not like the reserve list, thinks it was a mistake.
Of course it was a mistake.
I could see it happening one day. I don't know how soon. Maybe in the next 5 to 10 years.
I'd like to see it happen one day. I too don't like the reserve list. I think
because
fact
we
that
already
there's
know it's a lie.
Yeah, the fact that there are cards that they say they're never going to print again is stupid.
Well, look at Shivan Dragon.
Yeah.
The card that they literally give away in the old intro decks. The alpha and beta versions are still like $2,500.
Yeah.
Their value has not been hurt.
It was one of the most powerful cards. Hey, let's talk about power creep.
I'll trade you this weird Mox thing for that Shivan Dragon.
Sure.
That happened plenty of times.
I know.
I don't need this. It just taps for a green. Doesn't do anything. Here, I'll take you. The Dragon's much better. 20 years later. Why the hell did I do that?
Oh, yeah. Listen, I still want to just beat the living daylights out of my ex-wife. I'm like, why did I sell my cards? What the hell was I thinking?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it's Standard right now is sitting in such a wonderful position of innovation. We are seeing more innovation right now.
Yeah, well, when there's not one card, breaking the format in half over its knee, you tend to get some innovation, and this is what Magic is supposed to be. You play the deck that you like, that speaks to you, that gives you the ability to have the most fun, not just because it gives you the most percentage points or because if you don't play it, you're screwed.
Right. Like
Omnath, Uro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
oh,
wish
God.
I had the. Here's the thing: Steve's gonna crush us Wednesday, because he's playing Omnath, and I'm gonna play Omnath. But my mana base is not the same as Steve's mana base. I also don't have a Birds of Paradise. Surprisingly, I couldn't find it. So I'm like,
Really?
oh.
I could have sworn you had a birds.
I really want one. I'm gonna have to order one.
Well, here you go. You can get one for cheap for like $5-10 for like the Ravnica version, or you can spend $10,000 for the beta version. Oh, right, the reserve list keeps the value of the cards high.
Right. So I mean, I have to find my other like Dominaria cards too, because obviously I need Tetiova.
Tetiova?
Yeah, that's it.
Tetiova, yeah.
But I've got a
Get a
lot of
Mirari's
this
Wake.
deck, so
You got a Mirari's Wake?
I think so.
I mean, I used to play that deck in Standard. I used to have 4 Mirari's Wakes. So sad.
I mean, I'm just excited. I am very excited to just.
I was gonna play my Pirates deck on Wednesday. Now I'm not sure. I might just get stomped if I do that. But I don't know.
Oh, I should have told you what I'm playing, man. Now I feel bad.
No, it's fine. But I mean, I knew Steve was going in with Omnath probably. I don't know. I don't want to play Athreos because I don't want people to get super salt. I might just play Zakama again because I had a lot of fun with
Zakama, you won, dude. You almost have to play it because you won. You know, the last time it got played, you won. So yeah, maybe
I do need to find a Mirari's Wake for that though.
Yeah, I do too. Actually, I might order a few cards off of off of KGSOnline.com first.
KGSonline.com.
Yes,
Planestalkers 2020.
Planestalkers 2020 at checkout. Tell your friends.
5% off.
In fact, I'm going to look there right now.
But we're recording.
I have internet and can multitask. Plus, you know,
I don't know about
people
that.
like people like to hear you more than me anyway.
I'm good at rambling.
Ooh, it is there. Not anymore.
How many copies did they have?
I only see one. So.
Ah, crap.
Yeah, but it's a moderately played, but I can live with it.
Who cares? You're putting it in a sleeve.
Yeah, exactly.
Sleeve playable.
And I might as well check out for Birds of Paradise.
They'll have birds. I'm pretty sure they'll have
They
birds.
gotta have birds.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a great time. KGS Online. Buy your singles. New website.
Tell your
Looks
friends.
great. Tell your friends.
I'll get the
Pre-order
$54.95 one because you know, COVID.
What is that? That's got to be like unlimited or revised, right?
Yeah, it's the buy a box promo.
Birds
For
of Paradise.
yeah, for I think M something, one of the M's, they had a buy a box promo, $54.95 foil.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll just I'll get the cheapest one here. They got a few.
Yeah.
Because again, I haven't had one in years, so.
Yeah, it took me a while to get I think I eventually did have 4 birds. Yeah, because I was playing
I had them
They were
too
legal
in the old set before
Yeah,
I
they
got
were
rid of
legal
my
in-
cards.
yeah, they were legal in Standard way back I think when Fires of Yavimaya
Yes.
was being played. And I think I'd have birds for that. I had a 4th edition, a 7th edition. And I forget what the other 2 were. But yeah, it was great. I miss them. I miss all my old cards, and it's one of those things you never know. Nobody had any idea that it was going to blow up the way it did. Because honestly, the reason a lot of these cards went up so much was Commander.
Right.
When Commander took off, that's when the prices really shot through the roof. And it's just, what are you going to do? You know, you're not a speculator, and you got bills to pay. You sell your cards.
Yeah, and that's I got out before EDH, so.
Yeah, it wasn't a thing when I left either. So.
But I for one am just excited I'm excited for Wednesday. I really am. I'm excited for Commander Craft, and you know, I don't think we have any combat. So, and you know, we're running. You know, I think we talked ourselves through Standard. Let's go ahead and get into a little bit of main 2. We'll talk a little bit of Commander Craft and stuff. So, here's combat.
Combat phase.
And somebody played a Root Snare, so.
That was totally me.
Main phase.
All right, so for second main, we're going to talk a little bit. The new arena Zendikar, what the hell is it called?
Like little world tour event.
Yeah, it's like World Tour and Arena. And
Yeah, I don't like these events. I'll be honest.
I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to pay for it. All I get are style cards. It's like that you're just gonna. Yeah, it's.
I liked it when
I liked it when it was free. I played it when it was free.
Or they at least tossed a couple of gold or experience points your way.
Yeah, and I'm sure the wins
Something.
count, but
The wins count, but I mean,
yeah.
eh.
So
These events, I get what they're trying to do, but I don't feel like the incentive is there. There's so many other things they could be doing for a Zendikar event. This ain't it. I mean, I would love to see if they did like a Phantom event and they had somehow back-coded in all the old Zendikar cards. You had to make a Zendikar block deck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something like that, because they've done that before, obviously, because they had the, when they do the Momir Vig stuff.
right.
And, you could, hey, look, Grizzlebrand. Here you go. So
Yeah.
the old cards are there. When they did the event for Theros and you were able to play with Power 9. So.
Yeah, yeah. Here's the thing: the Power 9 is in there. They should be doing a hell of a lot more with all of that stuff. Personally,
I mean, they seem to be working pretty well behind the scenes at adding stuff as far as cards are concerned. We know Kaladesh is coming out next month.
yeah.
I'm really looking forward to what is going to be in that set. I want to be able to build God Pharaoh's Gift in Historic properly with Angel of Invention and Refurbish.
Hopefully, both are in this set.
Yeah, because okay, yes, you can cheat in God Pharaoh's Gift with Gate to the Afterlife. It's not the same.
Not even close.
You want to be able to mill it with your Champion of Wits and then play it on turn 4 and start pooping out 6/6 angels. And it just, come on, that's how it's supposed to be played.
Exactly. So for me personally, I am 100% on board with them doing more of that. But yeah, they're not. I worry that they're not going to put refurbish in. Is my fear, because refurbish will just be busted anyway.
No, and I don't think so at all. I mean, it was never banned in any format. It was never a problem card. It was heavily played, so I think they'd be doing a disservice by not putting it in the remastered set. Like, I don't understand how Regal Caracol became their buy a box promo for the Amonkhet remastered, because it should just be in the set, and like Adorned Pouncer wasn't in there at all.
Yeah.
When Cat Tribal is very big in the casual crowd, and Adorned Pouncer is a heck of a beater in that deck.
Yeah.
So I don't know. At least they put Crested Sunmare in.
I ordered my cards.
Oh boy, here we go. Well, are they going to get here in time?
You know what? If they don't, I'm going to proxy it. You guys know I bought it. Screw off.
I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, I would love to be able. Man, I had a Gaia's Cradle. That card's $1,000.
You know what? He would probably be okay with that one week if we were like, okay, look, you can't proxy. You Captain, I have tons of stuff. But, we can let us have one proxy week where we just proxy up whatever deck we want.
I already know what I would proxy up if that was the case. And you know what it is because I did it before.
Yeah, I do. So
Zozu the Punisher.
yes.
The game will be over in 5 minutes. Everyone will hate me, but we'll get 3 or 4 games in that night. We
almost had 2 games this time, and then what? I won this one. That's right. I am the reigning champion. I owned that deck. That was good. I enjoyed the Landfall deck. I was
both of those decks were quite good.
Yes,
they did
were.
A really good job with these 2 precons. I will say that looking at the Zendikar Rising precons,
yeah,
they did amazingly well. I mean, Sun Titan's a great card, it's a staple in a lot of white decks.
I gotta get another one because I tore that deck apart for my Omnath deck, but I have 3 versions of Omnath in this deck.
Oh, okay. So you have Locus of Rage, Locus of Royal, and Locus of Creation.
Yep.
So you need a Locus of Mana, the original one.
Yes, which is just a green one, isn't it?
Yeah, and then you don't lose unspent green mana.
Yeah,
I think its power toughness is equal to the amount of green mana in your pool or something like that. Yeah, Omnath is I'm looking forward to the next time they go back to Zendikar and they do the 5-color Omnath, because obviously it has to be.
Right.
Got to finish the cycle.
Yeah, there'll be a time. Like Locus of Mana is not. Oh wow, $31. Holy shite.
Yeah, it's a popular card.
Yeah, no kidding. Not gonna be buying that now.
No.
So, Commander Craft though, I'm having a blast with it right now.
It's the highlight of my week. It really is. I didn't like Commander at first,
I remember because I played you at Attraction. You just got pissed.
Well, you played the most oppressive and obnoxious commander in the format. I mean, come on.
Me? Go G on you?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So, it's only fitting that I didn't like it. But now I'm glad that we did this. I'm glad that we're doing it. I mean, for one, it gives me a way to use my older cards.
Right.
I mean, older by saying, Amon kept block. Right. But it gives me a way to use the cards that have rotated out of standard because I don't play modern, I don't play pioneer, and I can't play vintage and legacy. So commander's really where it's at.
And everybody's playing Commander right now.
Yeah.
Commander is by far their most popular format.
I think it's some people have said this, and I tend to agree with that. It feels like the purest form of Magic right now.
It
feels like old school. Nobody has every card. I mean, Steve does, but nobody has every card where there's like, here's all this crazy stuff that I have.
Right.
And it feels more organic, I guess, is the way to say it.
I'm with you.
The games are swingy, and there's nothing like multiplayer because there's the politics involved. And the saltiness.
Y'all were getting y'all were trying to come after me at one point. Like, what's up with that? You were swinging at me early on for no reason. You got me down to like 7. And I'm like, okay, I'll go to 7. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be back up to 27 in about 2 turns. Good go.
I had to deal with everybody else. It's the only reason I couldn't kill you.
Why do you always try to kill me? I am safe. I don't hurt anyone.
You sit there in the back, try to play nice. You just wait and wait like a pit viper until somebody gets a little bit too close with their ankle, and you bite them, and it's over.
No. Not just that. I don't just sit back and wait. I'll say things like, Steve, I can't believe Aramis is coming at you like that, man. You gonna put up with that?
Yep.
I know you two go ahead. And then I'll look over at Anthony and be like, we should be friends, right? Absolutely.
Poor Anthony.
Beautiful.
Oh, my God.
Poor Anthony. A landfall deck. Oh, he said it right here. Played a landfall deck and not drawing any lands.
I felt so bad. He almost won.
It was him and I in the final 2, wasn't it?
He lasted until the end. I mean, because I wasn't going to go after him. Like, I'm not that much of a jerk to kick somebody when they're down like that. Because I know what that feels like. Because you're not even playing the game.
Right.
And honestly, in a 4-player game, you leave that person alone. That person usually ends up winning anyway, because when they finally get going, everybody else has exhausted all their resources. So they're like, "Oh, by the way, all that stuff I haven't cast yet, here it all is."
And you got to figure he kept a 1 or 2 land hand, which means, oh, I got bombs.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
And he had bombs.
Yeah, I remember saying that because I'm like, wait, you kept a 1 lander. It's like that's bad for you, but also terrifying for me, because if you ever get going,
right?
Good Lord,
how did you not thought? Oh, because you're not playing your own deck. I'd have been like, thought erase your motherfucker. What the hell you got?
Yeah, what you got in there?
So I for one am. Listen, and we're talking about Commander Craft right now because I can't stress enough. Come watch it. We're going to actually expand Commander Craft. We're looking at that being our next, and this is a big announcement. So, just here we go there. And now, breaking news. And this is not by any stretch, totally official yet. We still have some details to work out, but we're looking to expand the Planestalkers family. We are talking actively with our co-hosts on Commander Craft, Steve and Anthony, about actually making a Commander Craft podcast. So we've got some details to iron out. They're both very interested, so I don't think I'm out of school saying this. But since I started this podcast, a year and a half ago now, since you and I started this, since we sat down together that first night at work, where at the Christmas party, where I was like, I could see us expanding and having a Planestalker network, and we're one of the shows on it. We're the flagship, but that we would have a network of shows, and they would each have maybe their own, format. Commander Craft fits right into that plan, and Steve and Anthony both have incredible. Steve has an incredible card base. The ideas that we're talking about are possibly doing a podcast where they build a deck and then play it on Wednesday.
Hey, look, a bot.
Hey, bot, how the hell are you, bot? If you're not a bot, I want you to say, hey, Will, you're hot. Come on, you can do it. Type it in now.
And then he says it.
Come on. Oh, if he does it, I'm going to feel like an idiot. But, yeah. So I am definite. We planning on starting with Commander Legends. Yep. Oh, good. So this is happening, and I'm blocking the user.
I mean, and the thing is too, like, you know, Steve and Anthony both have a deeper knowledge of the format than either of us.
Yes.
And they've been doing this a lot longer, and it would be, you know, it's perfect.
It really is. So we're gonna move forward on that. You know, we haven't worked out
games of Commander being played. I'm in.
Yeah, and that's just it. We haven't worked out totally all of the ins and outs yet. But what we're going to look at is all that stuff. So for right now, you know, I don't want to go too crazy with information. But, I mean, we're looking to also expand. We'd probably do things like, you know, we're looking at maybe expanding to another night where we could work other people in that are not Steve and Anthony, because neither of us want to go back to Zoom. Yes, Zoom allowed us to have 6 people on or 8, but it was really technically really hard to do, and game or spell table they really help us out. So
yeah, spell table,
four is our limit. So but we're looking at, you know, when we had our patron call about 2 weeks ago, that was one of the things they were like, man, I'd really like to get involved in that. Can you do it other nights than Wednesday? And we're like, okay, that kind of solves 2 problems. So as Aramis and I we would probably expand Commander Craft to maybe every other Saturday when I don't have kids. You know, and I got to figure that out with the lovely bride who breathed in very heavily just now, as if to say, really, you're going to take my damn date night? No.
Trying to breathe. Man.
Just trying to breathe. She's saying, she's not just trying to breathe. You're dead. I'm a dead man. Dead. I am so dead right now.
What day did you take?
Maybe Saturdays. Every other Saturday when we don't have kids. Maybe. We're working on it. This is all pie in the sky.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Halloween?
Oh, Halloween. We're
mine.
Oh yeah, we're having a blast on Halloween. You, me, Tanzamans.
Oh, yeah, nothing's happening on Halloween. We're
Saturday?
lights out
Yeah.
on Halloween.
Huge event on here.
The Tanzamans are coming.
On Friday.
I don't know these things. Aren't you glad you guys are paying attention to my marital bliss?
On the air, we're discussing plans for Benson's end of October activities.
Yes. So, but definitely 100%, that's coming. So Planestalkers Commander Craft, which is probably what it's going to be called, and it's going to be Anthony and Steve's show, and you know, we're just going to be riding along with it. It's going to be their thing, and they'll be under the network. And that brings me to another topic, is that, you know, if you're a modern person and you love modern and you got somebody else you can make an interesting show, and that's the trick, you know, reach out to us. You know, we almost had a Pioneer podcast, about 9 months ago.
Yeah, and we'd love to take that route again if we can find people.
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously you'd have to have a certain level of broadcast acumen, and I mean, but that's stuff you can learn too. Again, listen to episodes 1, 2, 3 of Aramis and I. I mean, you know, he was starting out. He was so nervous. It's hysterical. I was like, you can talk, dude. You can raise your voice a little bit, because I raise my voice. Feel free to argue with me. I can argue with you. Yes, argue with me. What?
Causing trouble.
Huh?
I don't like causing trouble.
I know you don't.
I'm a control player.
But now, look at you. Like, you know, I couldn't do this show without you. So, 100%, we would love to find some more shows here. So we want to expand the brand. You know, as time allows and in the right circumstance, we're not in any major rush. I'm happy with where we're at. I don't need 100 patrons. I don't need, you know, to be number 2 on the podcasts of iTunes. It would be nice.
It's okay.
But I'm happy with where we're at. I'm happy with where the show's at. The show's continued to grow. I accidentally knocked my sound card over. But, you know, with all of that, just to say, I'm really enjoying the show. So,
and it's all because of you guys that we're even doing this.
It really is. So, we were going to talk a little bit about the secret layers, but go look them up.
Well, I mean, it takes 2 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, they're putting out the new secret layer, Extra Life. 2020, which is it is going to benefit the
Seattle Children's Hospital.
right.
It's the Extra Life charity that they do every year. If you don't buy the Secret Lair, find another way to donate. It's a really great cause.
I might buy the playmat. One of the playmats.
They have playmats for sale, T-shirts for sale. The Secret Lair though, it's a $60 Secret Lair. However, $30 of that cost they're going to donate to the charity. So half of what you're paying is going to go to the charity. The 4 cards that are going to be in the Secret Lair, which are foil and new art, are Teferi's Protection, Amulet of Vigor, Collected Company, and Consecrated Sphinx. Those are 4 very high demand, sought after cards for Commander, Pioneer. Well, yeah, Pioneer, but like Modern. I mean, just those are really good cards to have, and those 4 cards combined are worth way more than the $60 you'd be paying.
Yeah, and it does go to help a good cause. So
yeah. I'm going to try to see if I can get myself a copy of this.
I definitely, if you can, definitely, if you have it, the ability, I 100%, I was going to put it on the screen and then I broke it, so I would just put it back to us. I highly recommend you take a look at that. It's really worthwhile. I'm liking the playmats, though.
Yeah, the playmats are beautiful.
Yeah. I would probably get the Teferi one. I kind of dig that one.
I like the Consecrated Sphinx one where the kids are painting the Sphinx.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's kind of cute. It's adorable.
So, but, definitely with that. We also, believe it or not, we have an iTunes review.
Shut up.
I'm not even kidding you. Like, it's like they listen. So hold on, I don't want to hear myself. Yeah, we really appreciate it. Again, guys, I'm not a big hey, do this, that, or the other thing. We're pretty happy with where we're at, but iTunes reviews, the thing about iTunes reviews are the more you put in, the more eyes get on the show. So that's why we ask you guys, if you have the time, download iTunes to your computer. If you're not an Apple person, go out, review the show. Just sign up for an account, give us 5 stars preferably. Because it does bring more eyes to the show. I'd love to get to the point where one day Wizard notices us and says, hey, we want you to do a preview card.
Notice me, senpai.
But, of course, for us to do that, we'd probably have to sit there and be like, no, Wizards, it was fine that you printed Omnath. We were very happy with that card.
Well, I mean, they gave the professor a bunch of preview cards.
That's true, and he just...
Of course, they haven't given him anything since he blew up their Secret Lair for the fetch lands.
Oh.
But...
Yeah, that was kind of funny. That on many, many, many levels.
It's just we're honest. If we don't like something, we say it. And if Wizards, if they notice us and decide they're okay with our honesty, I would love to do a preview card.
Yeah. So, but I mean, to do that, they got to know we live. So, definitely would love. So that's why we ask you guys, if you can, just go out there, leave us a review. So the one we have right now is it says more. It was put in Wednesday by Mark W.Y. I think I know who that is. It says more than just a great podcast. He said, I started listening to Will and Aramis shortly after I got back into MTG. I began to absorb a borderline problematic amount of MTG content.
Awesome.
He's like, this podcast itself is highly entertaining and very informative. Will is incredibly attractive. Aramis is hard to look at, and his voice can be annoying, but Will is just awesome. I can't... Ow!
We knew that already.
I'm kidding. It doesn't say that stuff. He said it's very informative. He said, these two have a candid way of telling it like it is while remaining positive and expressing their deep love of the game. Beyond that, these guys are building a community through a Patreon Discord channel and even hosting win-a-box tournaments on Arena. Now, listen, our Discord channel does not require you to be patrons. So, but look us up, discord.planestalkerspodcast.com. And even hosting win-a-box tournaments on Arena. I've had a blast participating in these events and have great interactions on the Discord. The podcast itself is a fun and amazing experience for any Magic lover. Again, can't say it enough, Will is really attractive. Gosh, how does he live with himself? His wife is so lucky. I look forward to every episode and everything else these guys do to build the MTG community. Thank you. And he left a 5-star on that. Some of that might have been embellished slightly.
Which part?
I'm going to leave that up to your imaginations. To find out, go find the review yourself on our iTunes page.
Yep. What's your review? Be honest. Be
But
nice.
be honest, but give it 5 stars.
Yes. Be gentle.
Yes. So, I mean, well, what are you thinking, brother? I mean, is that a show?
You know, I'm really like you've said before, you know, we wouldn't be able to do this without our listeners. We really do appreciate everything that you guys do for us.
Absolutely.
The fact that we've been able to expand to a second show with Commander Craft, it looks like we're going to a third show with a full-on podcast with Commander Craft. This is far beyond our wildest expectations when we first did this. You know, we were
Absolutely.
thinking, hey, you know, this would be awesome if this ever happens.
Well, it was really a way for you and I to keep talking about Magic without working together, because that's what it
Right.
was. Aramis got a new gig, and I was like, well, this is going to suck. So, I mean, and again, I love doing broadcasting. Forget about it. Again, if you want another podcast, Ride Home with Will, it's in our patron feed.
Yeah.
For
we never,
$1, I don't make the $5 be the only ones who get it. $1. You want that content?
Yeah, and it's like, you know, we don't push the Patreon. We don't push anything that you guys want to do for us, reviews, any of that stuff. We appreciate everything that you do.
Absolutely.
And, you know, we're just here having a good time, chatting about Magic, you know, shooting the crap basically.
Yep.
And we get to play online and have people, you know, enjoy consuming our content. And that's just, you know, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
and like tomorrow is the one I put up. I've already recorded. It's set to go in the morning. Is I'm talking about Wally West again for some reason. I've talked about the Flash 3 times. I'm a Green Lantern guy, but I can't stop talking about the Flash lately. So there you go. If you like comics, tomorrow, Ride Home with Will. Yeah, we couldn't do this without you guys. He's not wrong. It's incredibly humbling at times that I'm still like, people want to listen to me talk about this. I don't know anything. There are probably people that know me in the real world that have played Magic with me that go, what the hell is he doing on a podcast? And the fact is,
Every day.
let me just tell you, this just goes to show you don't have to be an expert about what you're talking about. You just have to be entertaining and incredibly attractive, according to Mark.
And listen, I'm just glad that I was able to check off the fact that I could share the incredible story of 52-1 to the rest of the world.
Let us never speak of that shit again.
I had to sneak that one in there.
I knew you would. And on that note, yeah, let's get out of here before I have to kill you. All right, so as we go, wrap up our cards, put them back in their boxes, roll the sleeves up, put them back in their little holder, or sleeves. Roll our playmats up, put them back in their little holder, and take the pizza boxes over to the trash can, because damn it, your mother still does not work at this game store. We want to remind you that Aramis and I both stream, actually more Aramis than me these days, but I'm streaming not just Arena, I'm streaming Minecraft on the Planestalkers Podcast channel on Twitch. Look up Planestalkers Podcast. You can also follow me on Twitch at Mindcrime73.
And as Will mentioned, I am doing some more streaming. I haven't done it the last week or so because of stuff happening around the house. And the rest of October is looking a little dicey, but if I can get one in, I will. My handle on Twitch is ArmecWRX, but lately, anytime that I have been streaming, it's been on the Planestalkers Podcast channel, so look for us there. If you want to find the show on Twitter, and that's something that's more your speed to keep up with things, look up at PlanestalkerPod on Twitter.
And listen, I never made it as a blind man. I couldn't cut it as a poor man stealing, but I do have a personal Twitter, and it's at WR Benson. Really, I just use it to follow my favorite band and yours, Nickelback, because how awesome are they? By the way, I always choose lame bands, and they don't come much lamer. But you can, of course, follow me on Twitter at WR Benson. Follow us on Facebook. Check us out there. It's facebook.com/Planestalker. We don't have the S on it because some jerk took it. Go there, like and follow the page. And we, again, as Mark mentioned in his review, we have an awesome Discord now. Discord.planestalkerspodcast.com. Go there. If you have Discord, it'll put you right in. There's no reason for, the invite code. It actually just sends it there. Discord.planestalkerspodcast.com. It's a really great environment, and we have a lot of fun in there.
Yeah, he's right. The Discord, there's always people there chatting about the game and other stuff going on. So hop over on there.
Steve keeps trying to get us all to play some game that we don't know what the frack it is.
And I'm posting pictures of me crushing people with Zakama. So,
Yes.
Hey, that's where it all it's at. But if you want to send an email to the show, let us know how we're doing. If you have a question for either myself or Will about the game, about anything else.
How attractive I am.
Well, I mean, that'd be more spam.
Yeah, really.
That just get deleted.
We just saw that.
But, anything you want to know about the show, if you want to talk to us for any reason, send us an email. The address is podcast@planestalkerspodcast.com.
And I want to remind you guys that I usually host another podcast. It's on this, deals with DC's Legends of Tomorrow. It's called Legends TV Talk. Obviously, due to COVID, it's on hiatus probably till mid-21. But we are streaming Flashcraft, which is a Minecraft server where we're building a whole bunch of DC Comics stuff. You can find us on Facebook at Legends TV Talk. And again, if I'm streaming there, I usually stream on our station, so you can check it out there. I hope that doesn't annoy anybody, but, it's my station, so, whatevs. And again, guys, I really appreciate the iTunes reviews. Please consider going and doing that for us. It does help the show. I'd love to get us past number 14 on the FeedSpot list there that we talked about at the beginning of the show, blog.feedspot.com/magic_the_gathering_podcasts. But on that note, we want to say thank you guys again for being listeners, hanging out with us tonight. We had a good time. We will be back next Monday night, and we'll be back Wednesday with Commander Craft at 7:30. Monday will be 8 o'clock, where we'll talk about all the newest happenings going on. We thank you for listening. You can catch this on any number of your podcast catchers. But for Aramis Perez, this is Will Benson saying, again, thanks for being listeners. Thanks for watching. And remember to keep some of your mana untapped, because you never know when you'll need it. Take care. Have a great week, and see you soon. Bye-bye. And stop. Which is good, because I'm just about out of space on my C drive. Okay.
Episode 78, correct?
78. Let me turn my Mac on.
That's doing its thing.
Hey, look at my belly.
No.
Get in my belly.
I don't want to.
Alrighty, so this is gonna go to my Apple. Yeah, I gotta clean my drive. I knew I was gonna have to clean my drive again, though. It's been a while.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention, I accidentally drew the game a couple times when I was playing Brawl.
Did you? What do you mean drew it?
I went infinite.
You're kidding me. That's awesome.
Marauding Raptor and Polyraptor is an auto-lock infinite combo.
Planes, Talkers, WB, Sounds, X78.
Because the Polyraptor, the Marauding Raptor deals 2 damage to the Polyraptor automatically,
Right.
which makes a copy. And then the Marauding Raptor deals 2 damage to the copy, which makes a copy, and then it just goes. And so the game draws.
Wow. Yes, very cool. Good episode tonight. I'm pretty happy here. This was a good night. Not a lot of people watching, but it's Monday. It's Halloween. Is Charlie Brown on or something?
The football game that was on.
Oh, that's right. My Buffalo was playing earlier. Man, how about Miami? They're starting to kind of show up a little bit. Don't get me wrong. They're gonna tank. It's gotta happen.
The division's kind of open if they can hang around.
That new quarterback isn't bad either.
Oh, Tua? Yeah. You just got to hope his hip stays in one piece.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, and here's the thing. Fitzpatrick is reliable. He's not flashy. He's explosive. He'll throw it down the field, but
yeah, you could do worse.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, I was watching the game and Joe Flacco, and I'm just like, oh look, he's throwing another interception. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Because again, Flacco he'll either score you 1,000 points when he was with Baltimore. He'd score you 1,000 points or negative 300. He very rarely had like that middle game where you're just
after he got hurt, that's when he really fell off.
Yeah. So had issues with Twitch tonight, so I had to stream from Facebook this time. Well, thanks, John. We appreciate it, buddy. Oh.
Yeah.
Is it exporting? It's still exporting.
I know they were losing. Did they end up losing?
Who?
Buffalo.
Buffalo played tonight. They were playing KC. I think they have to lose. I'm sorry, KC is just too freaking.
Casey is insane. Oh wow, the Cardinals are up 21-0.
You're kidding me. Over the Cowboys?
Yeah.
All right, I can live with that.
Well, remember, Dak is done. Did you see how he got hurt?
Yeah, he's done for.
That was.
Dude, what happened to your Panthers though?
There are no expectations for the Panthers this year.
Yeah, it's the
They
same
were
with
like they were
Buffalo.
expected to go like
Or it's the
6
same with Miami.
Yeah.
All right,
But, I mean, Teddy Bridgewater's done okay.
I'll say this right
Can't
now.
believe it.
What?
I'll say this right
Learning
now.
My house is haunted by Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Bills made a game of it, 26-17. That wasn't.
Down by 9. Yeah, that's not bad.
That's not bad. Because again, that KC team is.
If you can keep it close with Kansas City, you're doing a good thing.
Let's hear it for Tom Brady, boys and girls. I think it's incredible. I'm so glad. It's like, no, dude, you needed New England to be really good.
What happened with Brady?
Oh, he's just lousy. Like, I'm not in football as much this year because I didn't do fantasy because I wasn't sure if the year was going to end. Like,
I mean,
you know, it still might not.
They're moving games around like crazy, so
Yeah.
it's a little dicey.
So, I mean, it sucks. I miss fantasy. I love playing fantasy. It's something I've been doing for the past 20 years. And
Yeah, it's definitely a different vibe this season not doing any fantasy. I'm hoping to get to do some next year.
yeah. All right. Is that up there yet? Yes, it is there. Show open containing folder. Show me my desktop. Planestalkers WB Sound. All right. We are rocking and good to go. So that's up there. Yours is in Dropbox?
It should be, yeah. I'm bringing Zakama on Wednesday.
I figured you would.
I think the Pirates deck is fun, but it's definitely the lowest power level. Atheros is fun, but I know you guys don't like it.
Nobody likes it.
Doesn't mean I won't bring it again at some point, but I think right now it's just something about playing big dumb dinosaurs is just very appealing to me.
Yeah, I
as a
understand
control
that.
player.
Yeah, and I mean, here's the thing. I mean, we're coming at you. You know, we're gonna be coming at you pretty sideways. So I mean, pull it out here. Let's take a look. Like I said, I got to get a few other pieces. You know, I got to find my Tatiova. Yeah. Hopefully, my Birds of Paradise and arrive by Wednesday. But I'm looking at, you know, running a lot of the Triome lands. I threw Temporal Manipulation just for kicks. Like, I could stand in this to take 2 extra turns.
Mm-hmm.
Or take an extra turn.
Do you have a Cyclonic Rift?
No.
Oof.
I know. But let's see, what else am I running in here? I think I'm going to take Circuitous Route out because I don't think it's going to... I've only got 7 basics. I'm running a lot of the pathways.
If you can get... if you have a Migration Path, you can run that instead. That way you can at least cycle it.
That's what I do have is Migration Path.
Yeah.
So. Soul Ring, obviously. I'm running Prismatic. I'm running my black and red one. I'm running all of my, you know, fetches, obviously. Crucible, I found my Crucible. It's in there.
Oh, do you have a you don't have a Wasteland or a Strip Mine, do you?
I have a Strip Mine, yes.
Crucible Strip Mine.
Yep, that's what
Is
I'm
that,
thinking.
Well, wait a minute, is that legal? Is Strip Mine legal in Commander?
Don't see why it wouldn't be. Why, we're not playing like fracking, you know.
I mean, there is a ban list for Commander, so.
I know. I'm playing Reminap Excavator too, so I could play 2 cards.
Yeah. Let's see. That's legal in Commander. You're good.
Yeah. So I'm looking pretty forward to it. Look, I'm playing Locust of Rage, Locust of Creation, and the other one.
Sousa?
I've got a Sousa. I've got Nyx Bloom as well. I threw Nyx Bloom in just for.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You know, you have a Sousa and Crucible. You go Strip Mine 3 times.
Yep. So
salty.
Yeah, a little bit. So yeah, see, Strip Mine. I picked it up as a. So. Oh, sorry, you can't see it. It's one of the. I got it in the.
Oh, an Expedition.
Yeah. So.
Nice.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking about taking Lithoform Engine out. I put it in, but I don't think it does me any good on this set. But yeah, I'm having a. Yeah, I've got Locust of the Royal too. So yeah, I'm Omnast good. I've got my Bloodstain Mire. And I've got my Oh,
You
shoot.
should be. Well, no, that might be too hard to do. I was going to say, what if you ran each of the Cavaliers?
I think that's too much tricolor. Like it gets a little crazy. I'm gonna run, and I've got my other fetch in there too, the Scalding Tarn. So
Well, run a chromatic lantern.
that's
You already
not
have
a bad
the
idea.
if you have the
I do have a
Dryad
chromatic
of the
lantern. So
and if you have the Dryad of the Elysian Groves,
which he's in there, obviously.
yeah, then you can run them because then all your lands tap for all the colors.
Yes, it's a beautiful thing. So I'm looking forward to Wednesday. I mean, I'm gonna lose probably, but you know.
Oh yeah, well you guys are gonna crush me, so
Yeah, shut up, dude. You won last week. Or
and
2
that's
weeks
why
ago
I'm
with
go-
that
That's
deck.
why I'm gonna lose this week. You guys are gonna. That's always what tends to happen. Is whoever wins the week before automatically gets targeted no matter what.
And Steve will be like, "Yo, y'all should be targeting Aramis, man. What's going on?" We'll see how it goes. But that'll be Wednesday night, 7:30, right here on this station. Don't, same bat time, same bat channel. You do not want to miss it. So,
Tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel.
that's part of my Legends TV talk sound.
The dinosaur.
Oh,
You see the dinosaur. She's gonna go stomp on something. She's hungry.
yeah. She's going to go stomp on something. Yeah. You know what I think of
30
that?
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong.
So I'm guessing that was the thing you were
You're
telling me about.
wrong. You're wrong.
Yes.
You're wrong.
It's such a great sound. So
I'd never heard it before. So
you got to watch Scrubs. Like, go on Hulu. You're not working. Go on Hulu. Got no reason. My wife will say the same damn thing.
probably gonna be watching Discovery after we get off here.
What, Star Trek?
Yeah.
Oh, I have a hard time with that. You should be listening to The Ride Home with Will. I did talk about Star Trek a few times. So, and about how I'm not a big fan of new Star Trek because it seems to be going against Roddenberry's ideals.
I like to enjoy everything on its own merits. I don't try to.
Yeah, but Star Trek was always put together by one guy's vision. It was Roddenberry's vision, and he wanted kind of like a peaceful future. And now, don't get me wrong, I love DS9 and DS9 was anything but peaceful. But
That's my favorite Star Trek.
oh, it really is great. Like, if you haven't seen Deep Space Nine, folks, especially now, like, we've caught up to it. Like, I guess CBS is thinking about doing a DS9 reunion show.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't really think they should do that because I mean, half the cast is already dead.
Well, no, Odo's dead. Who else
Odo's
is
dead. Nog is dead.
Yeah, well, I could live without Nog.
His character developed.
He was
That's
good.
the thing. The
They all
character-
developed.
Yeah, the hard thing about Deep Space Nine for anybody who's getting into it, you're gonna have to suffer through the first season and a half. 'cause it's
No.
not that great.
Start season 3. Just start at the beginning of season 3. Don't even worry about season 2. Just pretend season 2 didn't happen.
I would watch the whole thing because I mean
Yeah.
there are things that happen later on that were referencing things that happened in the first couple of seasons.
See, here's the thing. At the end of season 4, Ron Moore came over from Star Trek, or it might have been even start of season 3. That's when that show took off. Ira Stephen Bear is a great showrunner. He was a good writer, but Ronald D. Moore is like, he did Battlestar Galactica. He's doing Outlander right now. Like, as far as writing goes, Ronald D. Moore for me does no wrong.
I mean, I will watch, like, every time I rewatch the series, I will watch the whole thing. I mean, because
It's really worthwhile. It was so
Yeah.
good.
I will say that the two things I don't like about the series, and it's just me because so
Yeah.
it's my opinion. I didn't like the first season and a half. There
was
were
a
a couple
little
episodes,
rough.
especially in season 1 with that stupid game that they played.
Yeah.
That was cringing bad. But first season and a half, meh. And then a lot, not all of them, but a lot of the episodes that focused on the Ferengi were a little
Okay.
bit too slapstick for me.
Yeah, where they brought Quark's like mom and then the Nagus and I'm
that
with
was
you
a
on
little
that.
too silly. But because the Ferengi are kind of comic relief anyway, and so I sort of get it. But it's like, all right. So anytime a Ferengi episode would come, I'll be like, I'm gonna suffer through it because I know there's a good one afterwards.
Right.
But
and
the
that's
Dominion War was fantastic.
well, that's just it. When I read a book, it was basically outlining the second 50 years of Star Trek. Or the first 50 years of Star Trek, but the second half of it. And they really go into Next Gen and DS9 a lot. And what Ronald D. Moore is saying, and even Ira Barrows, they were like, they kind of had to wait till Roddenberry died because they knew that, okay, Star Trek used to have this edict that, It wasn't serialized. Like, you could watch it, pick it up anytime. It was like 80s, 70s, 60s television. You stop in, everything's resolved in an hour. Nothing really impacts things down the line. They're like, when you're warping to a planet, having an adventure and warping away afterward, you can do that. They're like, but we knew by the way we designed it that because we're a stationary station, things that we do is going to have an impact months later because of the nature of it being stationary.
Yeah.
And it's really where they wanted to go. And it was kind of like their act of rebellion, really.
Yeah,
and that's part of why I loved it. I love the serialized storytelling. I've always been into serialized storytelling. I'm a comic guy.
Well, and Deep Space Nine really was...
They perfected it.
Yeah, they were a pioneer of that. I mean, like, one of my favorite things about it, this is like a whole other podcast episode.
Right.
One of my favorite things about it was the relationship between Kira and Jadzia Dax.
Yeah.
When they're walking down the hallway, and Jadzia is constantly trying to set up Kira on a date, and she's like, "I'm not going to date this guy. Why? Because his skull is transparent."
I really liked. Yeah, I liked Terry Farrell. I liked the idea of Jadzia. I wasn't a big fan of Edzuri, but yeah, the whole thing, and even bringing Worf over, they survived it. Like, they weren't big fans of it in the writer's room. Like, the book is great and it goes into this. They're like, it kind of felt like Paramount was saying that we're not good enough to be the flagship without one of these characters brought over. And, we already had O'Brien and why are we putting up with this? But yet they were able to roll with it. And if they were like, if we could choose anyone from Next Gen, we would have took Worf because he's an outsider and DS9 is full of outsiders. I'm like, okay, yeah. So I love it. If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. Star Trek Deep Space Nine. He's right. You could watch it from the beginning. It's a bit of a slog to get through. Again, you could start at season 3 and feel a lot better.
You can. I feel like you might miss. Like, it's
there are a few episodes. Maybe email Aramis and be like, "What do I have to watch in season 1?" You have to watch Caretaker. You have to, is that what it was? No, Caretaker was Voyager. You have to watch the pilot.
The Emissary.
The Emissary, that's right. You have to watch the pilot so you understand what's going on with the Bajorans and the whole 9 yards there. There's a few key episodes in season 1 and season 2 that you want to catch because it really hits you in season 3 and 4 with Eddington and this whole thing. Spoiler alert. Aramis will probably give you a rundown of exactly what episodes you need. Dude,
the biggest reason for me is because I'm a completionist.
Yeah.
And you see the whole story, so that way you don't miss, like, there's not going to be a ton that is referenced, but there are things that happen in the beginning of the series. You're like, oh, so that's why they're acting like this now.
Well, and that's just it. So what you do is start it with the later episodes and then go back and watch it, because then you're invested in the characters. They didn't do enough in the beginning, I thought, to kind of... Well, they hadn't hip to Bashir and O'Brien. They really hadn't hip to Quark and Odo and the way that they were supposed to operate.
Bashir was annoying at the beginning.
Oh, Bashir was terrible. Oh, Bashir was almost fired.
Bashir was terrible until he started really interacting with Garrick.
Yeah. And again, they didn't understand all of that. It
Garrick's
came
awesome,
later.
by the way.
Huh?
Garrick is awesome. My favorite.
Oh, Garrick is awesome. And
Garrick's my favorite.
And I love it because, I mean, the whole subplot of that is like he was a gay Cardassian who couldn't live on his home world. And they never really addressed it, but it's all there in the subtext if you watch it. Like, the whole subtext of that is Garrick was gay, got kicked out of Cardassia and the Obsidian Order because he was gay, and he became a tailor on Deep Space Nine where he was actually kind of sort of a spy. Like, I'm like, that whole nuanced subtext there is like, okay, I get into this. All right.
It's really great. I mean, Deep Space Nine, you will not be sorry if you get through this. And the special effects hold up.
They do hold up. And again, Defiant was a good addition. Yeah, seriously, you could watch from season 3. Aramis, I think you should maybe record a podcast. I'll throw it on the ride home with Will. All right, you have to watch these episodes, season 1 and 2. Just go through the list. Be like, you need these ones.
Subjective. That's too subjective. I don't like to like imprint saying you have to do this in order to enjoy the show. Right. Enjoy the show however you want to, as long as you watch the show. That's the only thing I'm going to push on you. Watch the damn show. Form your own opinions. The first 2 seasons, if you can't do it, then you can go ahead.
It's like any Star Trek. The first 2 seasons suck. Yeah. Even TNG. I defy anyone to be like, Star Trek The Next Generation 1 and 2 season was amazing. It's like, no. The episode where they went to Wolf 359 was good.
Conspiracy,
in season 2.
Conspiracy was good.
Conspiracy was okay.
Exploding head, come on.
Yeah, but terrible graph. Dude, the special effects on that were ridiculous.
Yeah, but like when I was like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old watching that scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, see, I was 14, so you're a child.
Yeah, you're an old man. So,
I am, but I definitely season 1 and 2 of Next Gen wasn't that good. Season 1 or 2 of Voyager Voyager didn't get good till they got rid of Kess. But again, I digress. And I love Voyager. I actually like Voyager almost as much as DS9.
Voyager was really good. Yeah, Voyager's my second favorite, I would say.
Well, I mean,
Enterprise was good.
I have a hard time. It's DS9, I think TNG for me. TNG is just so... Like, I love Picard because of TNG. And don't get me wrong, they shit on TNG in that show. Like, everywhere they possibly could, they wrote on the walls with their poop. It was bad.
I wanted to like Picard more than I did. I enjoyed it.
Like
I enjoyed it, but I felt like they could. It felt like...
Why are you not talking about Matt?
I don't know. That was the one series where I was like, this doesn't really feel right.
No.
But I
She drops the F-bomb!
I thought that was great.
It just...
That happens in Discovery, too. I thought it was great.
I know. It doesn't... Oh, God, it's not Star Trek. Okay, Discovery and Enterprise can be a little darker and harder. I can get behind those. But TNG set a kind of like, a line in the sand that this is kind of how the world is. And Picard basically pooped all over that. That's the problem I have with it, is that all of a sudden, the Federation and Starfleet took a big step back so you could tell action-packed stories with drama about people not liking each other. Which is the problem, because TNG was hard to write, because Gene Roddenberry's thing was, he's like, the first 2 series, he's like, they don't fight. The crew does not fight. They like each other. They're a family. They get along. There's no animosity between any members of the crew. It wasn't until Roddenberry died that they could do that. And now it's all, the shackles are off, and that's the problem I have with it. It's like, do Star Trek if you're going to do Star Trek. Don't.
I'll say this. I didn't think Picard was as good as it could have been.
Right.
I am looking forward to season 2.
Me too. And I hope they kind of undo what they did at the end of season 1 somehow.
I don't think that's happening.
I don't either. And
I
don't know how you do it.
You don't. I think you live with that, and then you move on, and you try to win. Like for me, like I said, I try to enjoy every story on its merit.
I loved seeing, and you have to bring more TNG in. The Riker and Troy episode, freaking phenomenal. Data every 6 seconds, absolutely.
Yeah, it was great to see them again.
I want Geordi, I want Worf, I want Beverly. Who doesn't want Beverly? And just see where that is.
You gotta find out what happened to Wes.
I hope they bring Wesley back. Well, he was supposed to be a Nemesis.
No.
Oh, you don't. Oh, dude, there's whole cutscenes. You can go find them. Wesley was in Nemesis at Troy and Riker's wedding. He was in uniform. The extended universe canon is he came back from traveling with the Traveler, finished Starfleet Academy. He was on the Titan with Riker. Like he was going to be chief engineer of the Titan. Like he was a lieutenant. Yeah, you can see it. There's pictures of Wesley in uniform.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you haven't watched Lower Decks.
I did watch Lower Decks.
Do you see the season finale?
Yes, I did, and that was hysterical.
That show, you know what? If you take it as for what it is,
yeah, it's hysterical.
It's don't watch Lower Decks if you're looking for quote unquote Star
Trek. Yeah,
this is hilarious.
Oh, when he's like, all those guys in the TOS era, TOS. I forget what he said, but he's basically like calling us out. So, yeah, I highly recommend it. This is your Star Trek podcast for the week. Welcome to bonus material.
Talk about a tangent, but you know what? Hey,
shit! I wish we were recording this. You know what? I've got the audio. Maybe I'll put this out as bonus content. I'll cut this part, so we might make this a second podcast this week. But yeah,
where we just gush about Star Trek.
You know what? Trek is all right, man. I love Trek. I love Wars. I'm one of the few guys that can love both. So
I enjoy both. I prefer Star Trek over Star Wars. But
well, that's because you're weird.
But like I said, I enjoy each of them for what they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Star Wars is good in its own way. It's not, if you don't try to look at them as stepping on each other's toes, they're both great.
Yeah. Well, one is about where we could be going. And that's just it. That's the problem I had with Picard, is that the utopian future was instrumental to Star Trek and to where we were going. It was a key point of it. And then to tear that down with Picard to where, the Federation's been infiltrated by Romulans and now things are awful and we're like racist against the whole class of people. And
I think to me it shows that everything ebbs and flows. And right now the Federation's in a dark spirit.
It's
and
not
it took a big
supposed
step
to
back.
though. It's supposed to be, that was
Well,
his vision.
you figure between the Dominion War, the Borg invasions, and everything else, things got dark.
I was cool with the Dominion War and the Borg invasion.
No,
Now
I'm
listen,
saying, like,
you
the
can't count the
aftermath of
movies.
that.
The movies were supposed to be action movies. There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
But and the Dominion War again, right? It was all good. It's the problem I have is what they did with the whole synth thing and kind of undoing Measure of a Man from a TNG era, and how it churned the Federation into this almost. Again, you got to watch Picard.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll do a Star Trek podcast on a really, really short week in Magic. But we're gonna get out of here, guys. That's been a lot of extra bonus content for you. So
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. We'll see you guys
Patreon.
next week. We'll see you Wednesday for Commander Crash, 7:30. Do not miss it.